In this video, I'll take a moment to explain VMware Tools and why it's so important, and some of the reasons why you want to make sure that it's running on every virtual machine that you can possibly run it on. Now, before we get into some of the specific features that VMware Tools provides, let's take a quick look at how you can install VMware Tools on your virtual machines. So there's a couple ways that you can go about this, and there's also a couple ways that you can ensure that VMware Tools is kept consistently updated. My personal favorite way to do this is to just allow VMware Tools to automatically update every time you reboot a virtual machine. So for example, here we see a virtual machine called Rick Creasy DB. If I want to, I can right click this virtual machine, and there's a number of options here. I'm going to go to Edit Settings. And under Edit Settings, what I can do is I can choose to allow VMware Tools to automatically update upon reboot. The reason that I like to do this is because many VMware Tools upgrades actually require a reboot. And so if I just check this option, now I know that in the future, whenever this virtual machine gets rebooted, it's going to update at that time, and I'm not going to have to do an extra reboot just to get VMware Tools installed on this particular VM. So that's really one of the easiest ways to make sure that VMware Tools is up to date on your virtual machines by allowing it to automatically upgrade every time the virtual machine is powered on. And the way that VMware Tools works is it actually mounts as an ISO image. So when you boot up your virtual machine, it'll mount an ISO image to this virtual machine CD DVD drive. And that's how the VMware Tools installation will actually take place. Now, why do we care if VMware Tools is installed on your virtual machine? Well, there's a couple really important reasons. So for this virtual machine, if I go to the summary screen, I have the ability to open a console to this VM. Now, at the moment, it's powered off. But if I want to, I could open a console to this virtual machine. And you can see right here, VMware Tools is not running and is not installed. My console isn't going to work as nicely as it would if I had VMware Tools installed, right? The mouse is going to be a little flaky. It's not going to work as smoothly as it would if I had VMware Tools installed. Right? That's one of the more glaring requirements for VMware Tools, but it's probably not one of the most important. VMware Tools includes certain drivers. Right? So for this VM, for example, if I go to Edit Settings, for this VM, I've chosen a certain type of virtual network interface card. I've chosen the VMXNet 3 virtual network interface card type. And that requires VMware Tools. VMware Tools has the drivers for the VMXNet 3 virtual NIC bundled in. So that's one really important reason that I need VMware Tools. The other really important reason is for memory. VMware Tools includes the balloon driver for memory. And what that means is if my ESXi host that this VM is running on starts to run out of memory, it has a mechanism called ballooning that it can use to actually reclaim memory that is no longer being used by the virtual machines running on that host. Right? So if my host starts to run out of memory, I'm going to have a really problematic situation here. Because I don't have VMware Tools installed on my virtual machines, the host cannot get memory back from those VMs. So it's definitely a performance best practice to have VMware Tools installed on all your VMs. And one final note. VMware Tools also gives us the ability to perform a soft shutdown and a soft restart of the guest operating system. Right, so I can always, reset or power off my virtual machines if I want to, but that's essentially the equivalent of pulling the power cord. Right? If I want to do a soft Windows shutdown or a Windows restart, I need VMware Tools installed on my virtual machine to be able to push those operations out from the vSphere web client.